Alrighty, hello everybody and welcome back to 1K World Cup 2025 presented by Joke. Hope you're doing well. It is time! We have officially reached the finals matches and oh boy, what a way to start off the finals then. Probably one of the most crucial losers bracket matches. We will probably see this match. It is going to be another 1C differential. It is going to be the United States versus China. Two gauntlet of a teams going up against each other to battle for the remainder of their tournament runs. As always, I am Era Sunny. I will be riding solo for this match. And honestly, we have seen these two teams absolutely dominate in that winner's bracket. Unfortunately, I believe China was knocked into the losers bracket quite earlier on compared to the United States. They made it as far as the winners quarterfinals where they lost 6-4 against the United Kingdom. And then they battled their way through the losers bracket, swept Australia, beat Mexico 6-3. And here they are in the losers bracket in the finals, looking to move on to their conditional to have a shot at the losers grand finals next week. While for the United States, they've had quite the cruise control happening. They were eliminated in the winter semifinals against Japan, taking a point from Japan actually, losing 6-1 and now ending up here, hoping to keep their legendary tournament run going. And I mean, what else is there really to say about these two teams that haven't already been said? I mean, the United States having some of the most consistent players on, or some of the 1K greats on their team. I mean, Hera Basil has constantly been just shocking people by setting pretty much new benchmarks for these maps. And then, of course, you do have the likings of Sleepy Maddie, who can really pull off some insanely good performances when needed. And, of course, Era Dev, that backup Rice player for the United States. And then also including 1K veteran Sidosis, also known as LS Ham, kind of just filling in here and there. I mean, if you don't know Sidosis, then you should... you're a new gen, I'm sorry. And with China, I mean, they have two really dominant players, Formless and Minato. They have basically been the two highlights of China. It's mainly been those two players in these two slots for most of this tournament, with the occasion of either having Lube or Aikmai in there for maybe a one pick or two. But normally the United States like to switch out. Mainly Basil stays in for most of the picks. Normally they either swap in for Maddie or Dev when needed. Sidosis, not much, but we're going to see the opening of this match with Sidosis and Basil on the side of the United States here. China did win the roll, so they're going to opt for the first pick. Going to opt for Classic 1, so 1 miss will be the pick to open things up here. And you can already see opening up this match, Basil with the highest accuracy, with nothing much of this intro, 99.9, and you can see that this will not be a one-sided go, as Minato finding a pretty big drag on that burst, kind of messing up that timing switch as they are finding a couple of misses. And I think all these players have been just so consistent these past couple rounds. You can't take your foot off the pedal at any moment. And that is not a great start for China. Minato dropping early, but Formless is keeping the likings of Sidosis and Basil in check, and Basil actually finds quite the accuracy drop. They are all down to 99.3. Sidosis at the 99.5 margin nearly. But both players on the United States are keeping their full combos. It's only China with that one miss or those couple breaks from Minato, but they're doing a healthy recovery. But they're going to have to do a lot more than that. Formless is the only player above 99.8 right now. As we are about to hit the back half of this map, you do get a little bit of a break here to kind of gain that accuracy up, but I believe that's what Minato will be trying to do. Same with Basil and Sidosis. 42,000 points of difference still on the side of the United States, just mainly off of those combos, but Sidosis breaks, and now this lead will slowly shrink in. Not by much though, however, because that accuracy is still very strong. Minato is trying their hardest to hold up to the combo, and I mean, they're doing it. That lead's shrinking. It's just, is there enough time? A lot more mistakes need to happen on the side of the United States. It's only 2 FCs remaining, Basil and Formless. And I mean, Minato is the only one not with a 99 as of now, but they have been keeping the combo steady. As I mean, same with Sidosis, they're about to hit the 400 combo cap here. But that lead now below 30,000, it's shrinking fast. Oh my goodness, one break here could probably throw this lead in the side of China. Everyone needs to hold on, as it's... Oh, Basil finds a couple of 100s. That will shrink the lead by 4,000, but is there enough map? I don't think there is, as there's relatively nothing hard left of this map. And as it winds down to the outro, the United States going to be opening this match up 1-0, taking an early break point. A wonderful double FC from Formless and Basil. Basil getting some couple of 200s and 100s, but getting the best ratio in the lobby, actually. And Formless only with 1 200. Wow. Very solid ratio. And Minato as well with a very good ratio. A 1 300 difference between Minato and Formless. That is insane. But for now, it will be the United States' turn to pick here. And Basil getting some double input problems here, hoping they can get that sorted. I feel like the United States here probably want to stick with their comfort zone and pick some more of the denser rice picks, or more of the more dense, like rice-based, more speed handle classic picks, or maybe even dive into the old pick if you feel like just winning off of sheer accuracy, or trying to pretty much press your luck with accuracy here and there. Maybe you're starting to get to that point. Is China starting to hit that skill cap? That is the question. I mean, this map pool is definitely a step up from the semifinals, but we also did see a bit of wear and tear from Sidosis, as they did find a couple breaks on that chart, but it was mainly, I believe, if I recall correctly, I believe it was Minato that found a couple of breaks early on, so maybe just kind of getting used to the pool. But just waiting for what the United States are going to pick, and they're going to stick in that classic range. They're going to go for classic 5 here. They're going to head for cybernetics. Interesting choice. Gonna dive into the more hybrid range of the map pool here. As we're gonna see Maddie jump in for this pick. Makes total sense, as they have been more of that LN gauntlet for the United States, and Basil gonna tag along as well. Basil can pretty much play anything that is thrown at them, so it makes honestly no surprise that they are going to join in for this pick. Same 2 players on the side of China, Formless and Minato. As, yeah, I feel like this is pretty safe if I'm the United States. I feel like it's just going to boil down to be very wary of drops, because I mean, both these teams, like I mentioned at the start of the stream, very consistent. I think consistency will be the key here. As we did see in Classic 1, those couple of breaks early on is what really just threw that lead in favor of the United States. Even if it wasn't that much of a lead, it's still enough. So you really just need to hold on for as much as you can and just pray your opposing team finds the drop. Or maybe it'll even just be a ratio battle. Who gets the less amount of 200s, who gets the less amount of 300s. But either way, gonna get started here with Classic 5, just waiting for the client to sync everything up. Bancho hitting us with the spaghetti code. As Mad... Oh, whoa. Yeah, Bancho just... As, you know, I just love Bancho, guys. One of the most stable clients ever. Definitely no issues at all. As, ooh, okay, that's... I think that was an actual break from Maddie, but either way, just gonna wait for the clients to sync up together here. As Maddie is trailing a bit behind here, but nothing really to worry about. Minato staying at a solid 0% here. Never mind, as we're all getting synced up here now. We should be fine. Minato gonna find the early break here as they are down again at that 98 range, but Maddie did trade some of that miss back, so it's not as detrimental as what Classic 1 was, but still. Minato gonna find a slider break, however, and that will increase the lead by a couple thousand points on the side of the United States, especially when Maddie just hits that 400 combo cap as well. As more of these streams start running in, oh, I don't know what happened there, but the lead shrunk by quite a lot there. Now it's only 20,000 points, and Minato and Basil trade. What Minato found, I'm pretty sure that's a full percentage drop almost. As we head into the hybrid, more LN-focused section of the map here. As, yeah, I believe just there, that will swing the lead over to the United States by 40,000 points. Even though Minato has recovered very well in that accuracy department, it's not going to be enough. And the United States is going to capitalize off of their breakpoint and make things 2-0. As, yeah, we can see FC, oh wait, no, a no miss from Basil. Another FC from Formless. Very solid performances from those two. Wow. And 988k from Maddie, even though they dropped those couple of breaks. And Minato as well, 934k. Not too shabby from everybody. This is the finals pool, and seeing players still like hit these 980, 970 marks, even 990s, that's insane. But anywho, it is going to be China's pick, so they could attempt to get on the board here, and they're going to go for the old pick, Endymion. Okay. I mean, Joke 1 speed map, not the hardest map in the world, but you always have to take into consideration that this map is OD10, so your timing needs to be on par. And I believe why why Bancho was having a bit of a fit there, as I believe Maddie was running behind just a bit compared to the rest of the players. But thankfully we got that settled. We're gonna see Maddie swap out for Sidosis for this pick. Maybe Sidosis kind of filling in for Dev here, as normally I think when it comes to these speed-based picks, Dev would join in for the replacement here to kind of tag along with Basil. And oh, are we gonna see a swap out for... Never mind. Okay, I thought Minato was going to get a swap out for maybe Lube or Aikmai, but nope, we're gonna see Minato still in for this pick. I mean, this is pretty much textbook speed. Only 220 BPM. Nothing really much is thrown at you. The only places I can really see some players drop is one, the timing switch ups that are in this map. Also, like some of the 1/3 switch ups. Some sections where I'm pretty sure in the middle it switches to 1-2 LN, I believe. Oh boy. Okay, thankfully it's just Bancho being dumb again. But here we go. But also, just because there are tricky sections that you have to transition in and out of, the elephant in the room here is OD10. So even though these players will probably nail this chart flawlessly, it's gonna come down to just who did it better ratio-wise. And it looks like Cydosis having a bit of a rough start compared to everybody else, down at that 99.5 range, but nothing too much. We just got this map started with, so there is still plenty of map to gain that accuracy up, as it's only around less than 2,000 points of difference between these two players. As you can see, Cydosis already making a very fast recovery from that accuracy department, and we do have a bit of a break here, and now that lead's going to start to flicker on the side of the United States, as Formless, I believe, found a bit of an accuracy drop on those LNs. But here comes one of the switch ups in timing here. Formless going to find a 200, as finds another one too. They're actually down to 99.5. Here comes the stream section and messes the transition up. Formless going to find the first break, and here comes another timing change. Not going to slip anybody up here, but that lead already 30,000 points in favor of the United States. Formless only dropped once on that. But then again, OD10 is really just pretty much the final nail in the coffin here. And even though it was just that one singular section, that bled 35,000 points over the side of the United States. But there is this final triplet section, but I don't think that will catch anybody up. They all hit it. This ending section can be a bit tricky at times, but it's not going to catch anybody up. And the United States going to take another break point and make things 3-0. As everybody FCing besides Formless, but Formless doing insanely well. 959k, almost a 960 on OD10. That is something that you rarely see, especially with 200s and a miss. Very solid score from them. Everybody else getting almost 990. Minato with a near V1 double S, just finding an extra bit of 200s. Basil getting the V1 double S, 74 300s, 995k on OD10 too. Wow. And Cydosis only picking up 1 200. Very solid scores from everybody. It's scary to see that both of these teams are in the losers bracket, by the way. This isn't a winner's bracket match. No. This is a loser's bracket match. So I don't know what's more scary, that these two end up in the loser's bracket or that one of these teams will be going home. That's good. That is insane. But anywho, the United States is going to pick up their second break point of this match. Going to be their pick. Probably going to stay in that field of range of just staying to the classics here. I think maybe something like Kyoki Ranbu could be a good pick here. Or maybe jump into Quantum Leap is also available. I think maybe Fan 3 or Classic 2 is the way to go here if you're the United States. One of the more kind of regular textbook rice picks here, while Quantum Leap is just... Oh no, we're actually going to see Challenger. We're going to see Classic 4. Interested to see how this one will go. This is the more LN focused pick, and I mean, we did see how the United States did on hybrid, especially on that main that main long note section on cybernetics. So the United States probably gonna try to put this on cruise control here with the more just focusing on LN here. As gonna see Sidosis in for this pick. Interesting that Maddie won't be in for this pick. But okay, maybe they're just discussing on whether Sidosis will stay in or Maddie will swap out. But oh boy, Basil going in on a sight read. Basil, you can't be sight reading when you're in the finals. You can't be doing this. Can't keep getting away with this. Oh my god. Don't tell me that you pull off these insane 990s on some of the hardest maps that Jay picks out, or the map pooling team picks out, and it's on a sight read. That is insane. But anywho, let's see if this quote sight read will work for Classic 4. Seeing if the United States will go up 4-0, or will China get on the board and take their first breakpoint of the match. Let's find out. Oh boy, Bencho is one of the greatest clients of all time. Okay, just waiting for Sidosis. Okay. Oh my goodness, I am ready to crash out at Bencho. Though the Laser Grand Tournament can't be that hype for it to slow down the entirety of Bancho or whatever OSU Live tournament is happening. But anywho, all the players are loaded in now. Everything's synced up. Heading underway with Classic 4 Challenger. I think the main liar standout here will just mainly be transitioning in and out of these LNs with doublets here and there. And just really trying to time these perfectly, especially on an OD with OD8 here. So far, everyone pretty much cruising through this flawlessly. Oh man, that lead, it's more lenient on the United States, but it flickers sometimes over to China, so I think it's safe to say that these teams are virtually tied now. Flickering a lot more now. Oh, it's too close to call. But more of these doublets and bursts starting to drop down. Minato finding that was a nasty note lock as they drop a full percentage now. Down into the 98s, now into the 97s. And just like that, what went from a 500-point lead to pretty much flickering back and forth now bleeds out to 47 and climbing 1,000 points on the side of the United States. As everyone else just nearly virtually tied in accuracy, it's just Minato struggling to nail these burst patterns here with these LNs mixed in between as well. But you do get a bit of a break, a little bit of a slowdown after that whole spiel. Oh man, 82,000 points in favor of the United States. But hey, the map isn't over yet. There is still this third left to go. So it's not entirely over yet for China. There is still plenty of map to go. Anything could happen. If there's one thing that watching tournaments have taught me, it's that you always believe in buzzer beaters, no matter what it is. And I believe that can apply to OSU related tournaments, as the map is going to conclude. However, it's just the United States are so strong. No one messing up that entire back half there. as the United States going to capitalize their lead now 4-0, as everyone getting roughly the same accuracy. Oh, I'm pretty sure everyone 990 just besides Minato there, as that middle section really caught them up. As 991, 990, and 992 insane scores. And Minato it was really just that middle section that really got them in the end. Really unfortunate, but I mean, it does happen. This map pool is getting, is extremely hard. But for now, it will be China's turn to pick, so maybe pick something that's a bit less dense is what I'm thinking. But nothing like light to where you have to put your ratio on jeopardy here. It would be really funny if Fan 2 comes out. That would be hilarious. I really want to see it happen. I really want to see Fan 2. But I'm not going to influence anyone to pick what they want. They can... Or I'm not going to influence ideas. They can pick whatever they feel like, and they're going to opt for Classic 3. So, going to head for Waste Schwarz, I believe. So sticking into that Classic range, pretty much haven't really exited the Classic zone outside of that old pick. As we're heading back into that Rice department of Classic charts. Just waiting for everybody to ready up here. Going to see the same roster in for this pick, it looks like. Gonna see Cytosis, Basil, Formless, and Minato for this Classic 3 pick here. Just waiting for them all to get ready here. I feel like China needs to win this pick, as you don't want to give up 3 breakpoints over to the United States, especially on a pick especially when you're this late into the match, as if the United States take this point and then win their pick off of, and then win their next pick, which will be this or after this, and if they get the breakpoints, that'll put them on a match point situation. And I mean, it's a pretty straightforward Rice chart, so hopefully consistency will be key here. Okay. Bancho being a wonderful client again. Hopefully that... Did Formless actually drop that? Okay, no. It took Bancho a suspiciously long enough time to reset there for Formless' score, so... We are back to normal. Yeah, pretty much heavily consistent stream chart with pretty much nothing really else but just textbook streams with some doublets and bursts mixed in here and there. feel like it's just really going to be an accuracy showcase here for these teams. As it's virtually tied, it's flickering back and forth between these two teams here. Oh, that score hit the double digits, that difference. Oh my goodness, don't tell me it's a double digit difference. I believe, yeah, 20, are we tied? Okay, things are starting to regulate out here, sort of, as the timing changes are coming in. The lead steadily on the United States side as Minato dropped a couple hundredths of a percentage, but so does Sidosis. So we're kind of back to just evening out each other's scores here. Oh, but the 1/3 trip up is, or the 1/3 transition going to slip up Minato actually, as they are down in the 99.85 range. As now that lead is going to increase by roughly a couple thousand points on the side of the United States here. There is still map left, however, because it does switch back into the consistent 1-4 streams, but that's not going to do anything as the United States is going to take a crucial break point and make things now 5-0 in. Oh my goodness. Is that a, like, a 1,900,000, okay, hold on. 1,990,695 team combined score from China and loses. That is scary. That is scary. Normally, that would be an evisceration if you get a team combined score of 1,990,000 or above. But wow, the United States tying. By the way, Basil and Sidosis tied on that. It was just Minato that fell behind just a tad bit, as well as Formless. That was insane. And the United States going to pick Fan 2. Gonna jump down into the fan picks. I've been waiting for this map. Honestly, makes sense. If you know, you know. But this has got to be a crucial breakpoint for China, as they cannot, as I feel like this is like I mentioned earlier, if the United States take this pick, they're on a match point situation. Oh my goodness. Surely the home field advantage will work for China, because I believe the mapper of this chart, Super Triple S, is Chinese. So maybe maybe just getting that home mapper advantage can help China get on the board here. Just waiting for everybody to ready up here. And here we go. I feel like, I mean, on to any, okay, well, I guess I can't really hide it anymore. Yes, there is SV in this map, so I feel like it's just gonna come down to, if you played the map, you know where the SVs are, you know where the stop and goes are, and the slow jam. You should be okay. But we're gonna see here, opening up slow jam all across the board. Points! They're tied! They are tied! Oh my goodness. Oh, Basil gonna catch up on a break though! As this lead is 8,000 points in favor of the United States, as Minato does trade that break, and I believe Formless found one as well. It is only Maddie now with above that 99.8 caliber. As, oh my goodness. More of these SVs drop down here. Catching up nobody, but 20,000 points in favor of the United States, and growing as well. And here come the bursts. The speed up here, I believe there is a bit of a tricky SV section after these bursts. I need just a quick mind refresher here. I will... Yeah, right here. Everyone nailed the first one. I mean, I don't think there's enough map left. There's only this final slow jam section and this final burst. 55,000 points in favor of the United States. More of these bursts running down. There is a break from Formless, but it's not going to matter, as the United States are now 1 point away from knocking out China in this tournament. And wow, Maddie with the full combo. 4 200s. And only one miss from Minato and Basil. That is crazy. Formless only dropping 2. That is crazy. And China gonna stick in that fan range. Gonna try out fan 3 here as a last minute quantum leap. They are going to try to stay alive here in the tournament. See if they can keep their tournament run going with this with potentially what could be their last pick of this tournament. Waiting for these players to ready up here. And here we go. China's last resort pick to try to stay alive in this tournament and get on the board will be here. Quantum leap. Here we go. Good luck. Have fun. Oh boy. And here we go. As Minato, hitting a bit late there on that opening burst stream, but nothing too much as it's only a 7,000 point lead. It's pretty much 2 minutes and 22 seconds of this pattern right here. And that was just the opening, but Minato's gonna find a break, however. That won't help at all. Now this lead, 13,000 points and climbing in favor of the United States, as Psydosis and Basil pretty much almost tied in accuracy. Formless not too far behind from them. But it's just Minato needs to climb up the accuracy. Psydosis finds a break, however. That will shrink the lead just by a tad bit, not by much. Slowly but surely closing in. 8,000 points and closing. Now 7,000. Now 6,000. Will it hit 5,000? It will. Oh my goodness, and we are in the back half of the map here. There is still room to catch up here for China. It is not over. Less than 5,000 points of difference as the map continues on. But Psydosis is nearing that 400 combo cap. So once that 400 combo cap is hit, the score will start to regulate a bit and will stay relatively in that 4,000 point range. But Minato finds a couple 200s, and now the lead is right back to where it began. 11,000 points in favor of the United States. Basil and Formless basically battling out while Psydosis and Minato it's pretty much top row versus bottom row here. As Minato finds a couple of late hits on that burst. Maybe just a bit too fast for their comfort. Final quarter of the map left to go. Mainly just these elongated streams from here on out. And if no one can stop Basil nor Psydosis, that will pretty much be all she wrote. As there's only really this final stream section to go, the map is closing out, and ladies and gentlemen, the United States will pulling out the brooms on China and doing a clean sweep, 7-0, and China will be eliminated from 1K World Cup 2025. Wow. Like, I am at a loss of words here. That was insane. This did not feel like a 7-0 game. This did not feel 7-0. I'll tell you that much. GG's, well played for everyone across the board. As, ladies and gentlemen, United States will be punching their ticket into their conditional match. They are not out of it just yet. They have to play one more match, and it will be determined at 18 UTC later on today. It will either be our 6th seed, the United Kingdom, or our 5th seed, the United States, which will happen roughly an hour and 20 minutes from now, which will be our next match. So we will be taking quite a bit of a long break here. We will be back at 18 UTC for that match. And once again, congrats to the United States for winning. Commiserations to China. They put up one hell of an effort, but unfortunately, all good things must come to an end. I've been Sunny commentating this match, and we will see you all later. Take it easy, everyone.